of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women. Afternoon, one and all, and welcome to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I am your host, Michelle Malcolm, and as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in and allowing me to take up a little space in your world. So I am calling this show today, The House May Be Honorable, but what about its members? And I'm sure y'all all know what house I'm talking about, because there has been quite a lot of interest surrounding a particular member of parliament who now faces charges before the courts. And we learned yesterday has no intention of stepping down from his seat while he goes through this legal process. But quite frankly, he is not the first member of parliament, sitting or former, who has had some kind of challenge, whether it's been a legal challenge or some other, type of difficulty, some other type of entanglement or alleged entanglement that they have had to face. Some of them were accused of some very serious crimes, never charged before the courts. Others were charged before the courts, and actually, at least one that I can think of, spent time in prison. But yet, according to the rules of the House of Assembly, as I understand them, you could be found guilty in a court of law and still not be legally required to vacate your seat, because the rules stipulate that in addition to being found guilty, you have to be sent to prison for at least 1 year. And that is what, in essence, gets you fired from being a member of the Honorable House of Assembly. So my guest today and I are going to be discussing this whole concept of what truly makes a member honorable when they enter those, wonderful halls of Parliament. Because you have to wonder sometimes when you see or hear of the alleged behavior of some of our parliamentarians as to whether or not they are truly honorable enough to be in that honorable house. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And my guest today is a gentleman who, while he was in the House of Assembly, was known to be, somebody who was not afraid to stand up and speak his mind, even if it meant going against the grain of his party. It actually got him in trouble with his party and was ostracized. But he's here to help us break this down today. And I know it's going to be an entertaining show because whenever he's he don't hold back. So, Jason, let's bring him into the stream. I speak of none other than former parliamentarian Frederick McAlpine. Mr. McAlpine, how are you today, sir?
I'm okay. Thank you so much. And it's a pleasure to be with you, Michelle, Malcolm, on this live with 99.5 here on Global Paradigm Shift. And let me commend you for all that you've been doing in the area of media. I've known you throughout the years, and not just here, but you've been in this for a while, and you've been exceptional in dealing with the area, and you've been professional in dealing in the area of journalism and media.
I can't believe that I actually entered media in the Bahamas in I graduated from University College in 84, so I would have started working at ZNS in January of 1985.
That's right.
That is crazy. Like, where does the time go?
The time went, but the reality is, and it's so what you do as a journalist and the importance of a journalist and being a part of the fourth estate is important to any country, any nation. And I really wish that our people would understand the value and the worth of this profession.
Absolutely.
Because this is the profession that actually keeps not just politicians, although we'll be talking about that, but keeps everybody accountable in all spheres of society. That's
the thing. We are the storytellers. We are the living historians, for want of a better term. So we are responsible for telling the story for generations to come. And I really don't know if people understand how important the role of a true journalist is, quite frankly. And maybe that's another show that we need to do. But we're the storytellers. We are the historians who are framing the narrative for today and future generations so that they can understand what is going on in their nation. And so it should not be taken lightly, you know? So I appreciate the kind words that you've expressed.
You're welcome. I've watched you over the years, and it's obvious and evident that you like what you do what you love, and you love what you do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the reasons why I went into broadcasting, you know, my mother was in business administration. And you know how parents are. They want their children to do what they did, or, you know, what they think is good for the child as opposed to what the child wants to do. So my mother wanted me to go into business administration. No, this is not who I am. Because I have the attention span of a flea. I get distracted very easily. So I knew that I needed something that was going to be new and exciting and different every single day. And that is exactly what journalism offered me for all the years. Because no one day is exactly like the one before, you know? So,
yes, absolutely.
Anyway, let's get back on track. Because boy, do we have a lot to talk about.
We do. And I guess there's a whole lot going on in this small archipelagic nation of ours called the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. There's a whole lot going on. Yeah. And so it's important. I think people need to understand that when you love your country and you're passionate about your country and you're a nationalist as it relates to your country, you tend to stand up and stand out. And that does not preclude from you being who you are from a professional or a vocational sense.
Right.
It's because of the vocation or the professional attributes that you display as in terms of occupancy. Sometimes where you sit causes you, based on conviction, to want to do the things that you want to do with regards to making your nation better.
Mm-hmm. Even if it costs you.
Even if it costs you, and most times it will.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's a true sacrifice and a true conviction. One of the problems that I'm having is you have a lot of people, even in Parliament now, and even when I was there, they don't have convictions. They're like robots. They're striving on somebody else's convictions. But you have to have your own conviction. As a journalist, and I know that you were the candidate in the last election, as a journalist, you see things, you hear things, and therefore you want to see better. And because you want to see better, because you only want to see better because you love your country and you love the country that God has placed you in, and you feel that the country can do better.
Absolutely. So they call it the Honorable House of Assembly, the Honorable Upper Chamber, the Honorable Lower Chamber. What makes that institution honorable, in your opinion?
The people who sit in it make it honorable.
You sure about that?
Now, but let me say that. When I say the people who sit in it, you ask me what makes the house honorable. Without people, it cannot be honorable. It's just a house, just like a home. You can have a house, but not a home.
Okay.
So if you're saying what makes the upper chamber and the lower chamber honorable, or what ought to make it honorable, is the people that sit in that place that makes it honorable. Other than that, it's just a house. It's just a building.
So
But
I
the
like
people who sit in it now,
yeah.
If the question is the people who are sitting in it always honorable? The answer to that question is no. Does the people sitting in the house, does it mean that they're going to be perfect? The answer is no. Is the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas looking for perfection in the individuals that sit in that house? No, but they're looking for credibility. They're looking for integrity. They're looking for a surety that somebody in there actually cares and is concerned about their well-being.
Wow. You know, as a young reporter back in the day, when I used to cover the House of Assembly, you knew that when you walked into Parliament, you were going to get some really good debate. You were going to get a lot of meat. And let me tell you, back in the day, we were not allowed to carry recording devices into the House of Assembly.
So you had to write.
We had to pay attention and we had to write.
That's right.
And I remember coming back to the station to do my story, and you have pages upon pages upon pages of notes because there was so much meat and content. And back then it was a real debate. It wasn't where somebody write a speech for you and you come in the House of Assembly and
reading somebody's note.
And then depending on who you are, you read it well or you read it poorly.
I'll be honest with you, Ms. Malcolm, it's changed. It has changed tremendously. I ask the question constantly, continuously. How is it that the people during Lyndon Pinlin time and your grandmother and my grandmother didn't have as much, but yet did more? We got more and can't do as much.
Right.
When you talk about back then, when you went to the House of Assembly, you were dealing with people who genuinely, individually, and collectively had conviction. They actually believed in something. They believed in the Bahamas. They believed in Bahamians. We're dealing with people today, and they were more concerned about Bahamians and more concerned about people. We're dealing with a crew that's about me, myself, and I, and everybody else thereafter. And before I get to the constituents, they will say me, myself, and I, my family, my friends, and any lovers I may have on the side. Then the constituents. It's sad, but that's where we at. And to be honest, you know, we come with speeches in the House, but in the House, you're really supposed to stand up. You really shouldn't have all these written speeches. You're supposed to be able to speak exponentially out of your on your feet, quickly think on your feet, be quick on your feet, and you're supposed to be able to have your own. The reasons why we have a whole lot of people mess up because they don't write the speeches, they don't feel these speeches, they're not convicted about anything that some of them are leading or ministries that they're holding. And so therefore, there is a lack of integrity, a lack of conviction, a lack of principle. We're far beyond, again, I asked. So Lyndon had less. He didn't have no internet, no Facebook, no WhatsApp, no social media. He didn't have so many persons within the agencies or within these ministries, yet they did more. Out of that same grouping came the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Independence, National Insurance, the Defense Force, College of the Bahamas, now University of the Bahamas. So much has happened. We've had successive leaders and have not done as much. No more than to make sure most of us got a job. So when we talk about honorable, when we talk about the House of Assembly, I also think we have to be careful about the people who we also run. Sometimes I think people need to be vented. As a leader of a political party, know who you're running. Don't just pick any John Doe and say, come run. Find out their background. Find out what they're interested in. That way too, you'll know where to place them if and when you should become government. But a lot of times we're dealing with selecting people who have popularity but not necessarily principles.
Yeah, because we just won't win the seat. You are talking about the seat. They're interested in all of that.
And so if you just win in the seat and you don't have no principles, you don't have no integrity, and you ain't got nothing in your damn head, what are we getting up with?
Add on top of that, this trend that we seem to be seeing nowadays, this arrogance and narcissistic attitude.
Yes. I mean, it's
not bringing nothing to the table.
It is but it ain't a little bit, Miss Malcolm. Listen, Michelle, light of God, by the way, that's the meaning of your name. I have a daughter named Michelle. It's a beautiful name. Listen to me, Michelle, and hear me well. Arrogance has been the order of the day, especially within the last decade. Arrogance. This not pronounce that word again. Narcissistic.
Yes.
Attitude, which is for one to believe that they're more than what they really think they are.
And you
thinking yourself overly important.
Yeah. And you are nothing. You, the voter, are only there to get them there, and then you are nothing.
You're nothing. And then on top of that, yeah, you're nothing. And then they need you only to get the vote.
Mm-hmm.
And once they have gotten the vote, they discard you, they relegate you, they put you to the back, and they say, I'll see you in another 4 to 5 years. And let me say this, folks, that's a part of the problem right now, folks, because once I give you a t-shirt with $100, and you don't even know your worth as an electorate. Once I give you that shirt with $100, or I pay you a little light bill, that's it. That person who you elected, as far as they're concerned, ain't got nothing else to do for you because they don't help you. And so you only worth $100 or a Hennessy.
Well,
or a 6-pack.
I want to break it down for the people who actually let them do that to them, right? If a politician give you $100 in a t-shirt and say, here, man, this just for you. You know, I need that little thing. I need that X. In essence, they telling you weigh $20 a year. Because if the term is 5 years and you spread $100 over 5 years, you only weigh $20 a year. That's what they think of you.
That's right. That's right. That's what they think of you. And they believe that. All sincerely believe that. But it also speaks to the fact that politicians do not value the Bahamian people or the electorate. They don't. And unfortunately, you cheapen yourself when you continue to elect people. See, this thing has got to stop. Well, if it's a dog and the dog comes and the dog is PLP, I don't want a dog representing me.
Yeah, child.
I don't want a cat representing me. I do not want. I want someone who can articulate the problems that I'm facing in my constituency, and not necessarily my constituency, but my country. I want better. And not just better for myself. I want better for my children. I want better for my grandchildren and my great-grand. I want a Bahamas that I can live in. And I want people who are not going to go to parliament to empower themselves, enrich themselves at the expense of the Bahamian people. And we sit idly by, knowing what's the, and let me speak to this too. I have to challenge you Christians as well. Because y'all claim y'all love the Lord and evil only prevails when good keeps silent. But when good speaks up, y'all go in the booth. And if your choice is still Jesus and Barabbas, you still voted Barabbas. And yet you telling me we're supposed to be the head and not the tail.
My Lord.
Yet you telling me it's about kingdom. So right now, we have preachers in this country. People have lost their integrity, lost their character, lost their principle, and lost their Jesus for JP, OBE, MBE, and Crown Land.
Wow.
And then you want to know why this country is the way it is. We turn a blind eye to things. I mean, again, I'm not going there. But yes, I am going there. You have 56 charges against you as a sitting member of parliament. Well, before I go there, any member of a church that I go to, that I'm a pastor or on the pastoral team, can you have 56 charges and be in our church or any decent ministry and hold a position of a deacon or a minister or choir director or praise team member? And I as a pastor get up and say, oh, this is brother so-and-so, deacon so-and-so, minister so-and-so. These charges are against him, but he or she is still in good standing. Are you crazy?
Well, the people say,
this is what we call, what are we teaching our children?
we teach them you're innocent until proven guilty. That's what the people say, Mr.
Innocent until proven guilty. Go prove you're innocent. But you ain't gonna walk. This does not require walking and chewing gum. This requires you fighting for principle. A good name is better than riches. So right now, if I have 56, 57 charges against me, I can't go claim my name. I can't go make sure they don't lock my behind up because I want to spend time with my grandchildren and my wife. I want to live. How does it look? I'm just asking. Y'all say this the Westminster system. Please tell me. And maybe some of you watching by Facebook or listening by radio, just tell me. How do you do this? How do you say we're part of Westminster? Where in Canada you think you could have charges levied against you and you still sit in the House of their Parliament?
You know,
when did you think this could happen?
We in the Bahamas, we operate on a totally different set of rules and values when it comes to that. Because let me tell you,
when it's convenient, though.
I have heard of some heinous accusations against members of Parliament. That is common knowledge amongst the people. You hear them talk, child, that one is a serial rapist. He just raped girls. Oh, that one, he like young children. Oh, that one, he like boys. And people talking about it all around the place. If this was the United States of America or Canada, my God, they just dig up pictures of people when they was in college 30 years ago wearing a costume at that time, which is now considered politically incorrect, and they will destroy a person's political career for a photograph they took in college 35 years ago.
Listen, you are so right. And listen, accusations, I admit, sometimes they can be false.
Yes, of course.
I'll give you an example with me. Because I was entering politics, they used to put on me I'm a woman beater. When that didn't stick, they say I like men. Then when that didn't stick, I like all kind of women. I could understand accusations. But when you have been charged before that's a different thing.
Yeah.
That's a totally different thing. See, because sometimes the lie goes quicker than the truth. But eventually the truth gets out.
True.
Eventually the truth gets out. And you know what used to upset me? No, and I say this. I never beat women. I'm not a wife beater. Never was. But you know what got me mad? the people who was beating women was sitting right round in these cabinets.
Mm-mm.
You judged me on speculation and you had the facts, and the people were sitting right in their cabinet.
Wow.
We have known of cabinet members to beat wives, be caught in compromised positions by police officers,
Yes.
parliamentarians. These were the facts, easy, verifiable facts. But yet you judge people on speculation.
Welcome.
But
to
now
the
you have a situation where somebody has literally been, see, the honorable thing to do is to resign. That's the honor. If you're honorable, that's the thing to do. Well, and I see this. I see somebody writing. I probably need to put my glasses on because it's a bit small, but someone said, where's the church? They even speak up when it's convenient. What does the church have to say about this? Is this how we want? I don't know what the ramifications are with regards, but I know if it was an ordinary person, you'd probably have an ankle bracelet on. In his case, that might not be the case. But you're telling me you could go to sit down in the House of Assembly now with charges, don't care who it is. I'm not saying this is the case with the situation now with the present member of Parliament, but you're trying to tell me, so I could get charged and the court could say, well, we want to put an anklet bracelet on you. And I'm going to Parliament with an anklet bracelet on.
That's just an accessory.
I mean, God, behemoth people, open your eyes. Do you all see what's going on here? Your child can't get the leeway that we allow members of Parliament to get away with. But you're going to tell me that my member of Parliament, so where's your MP? Oh, yeah, he's there. But I heard your MP was charged. Yeah. So where is he doing? Well, he's right in the House. He's in the House doing what? Well, he's been charged and he's wearing an ankle bracelet. And he goes and he shows up every week. And he speaks on behalf of the people of the constituency he represents. So don't bring no legislation on money laundering because you can't speak to it.
No, you can conveniently be absent from the House of Assembly. That
okay. Don't talk about bribery because you could be absent.
Yeah.
Don't talk about don't talk about crime. No bill brought to the House on crime. You can't say nothing. No financial bill brought to the House. You can't say nothing.
We have a caller on the line. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon. I love your show. I had to stop my car to call in. I've got to say, Pastor McAlpine is doing fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Real talk. I boast from both of you. I'm loving your show.
Thank you.
Okay? Keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
God bless.
God bless you too.
Thank you. God bless.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come on the other side of the break, we're going to talk more about, this whole idea of what makes the House honorable. And, we as an electorate, we have to take some responsibility, like Pastor McAlpine said. We very much at fault for what we get because we keep accepting garbage.
Yes.
And then we act surprised when it stinks.
Yes.
Talk about that.
I love that. I love that analogy, Michelle. Thank you. I'm going to write that down.
We're going to take this quick break. We got to pay some bills, so we got to get some words in from our sponsors, and then we're going to continue with the conversation. Today, we're talking the House may be honorable, but what about them doggone members? We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun. GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company, along with my guest today, former Member of Parliament for Pine Ridge, Pastor Frederick McAlpine. We're talking today about the House may be honorable, but what about those members? We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon and God bless, Michelle. How are you doing today?
Great, JT. How are you?
I'm pretty good, thank you. And good afternoon, Pastor McAlpine. How are you doing, sir?
I'm okay, JT. Thank you. It's good to hear your voice, sir.
Well, thank God for still having a voice to be heard, both literally and conversationally.
Yes.
You know, earlier this week on another talk show, I've been bringing up the question about, and I must ask it like this: where is the Christian church? You know, when I look at the Bible, Pastor McAlpine, from Genesis to Revelation, God's hand is in the affairs of humanity, whether it is Him creating us, whether it's Him giving us the institutions for civil governance, or whether it's Him at the end of the day judging us all. And what concerns me, as a Bahamian, as a Christian, as somebody who wants to see righteousness rule in this country, is that the preamble of our country's constitution, which is probably one of the most powerful and beautiful constitutions or preambles in the world, we as a country are not living by the tenets in that preamble. I was in a training session yesterday that has to do with a number of conventions of the United Nations. And you know, one of the things the presenter said to Power Group is the reason why she put our Constitution first, which is what she did, is to show that our Constitution, all of those other things are linked to who we are in the Bahamas in terms of our Constitution. That is top of the line. We as a people are rotting. As a nation, we are rotting from the inside out because we are constantly allowing the devil and the wickedness that the devil is all about to reign in Parliament or generally in this country. I'm at the point now where I can't. I find myself not being able to be quiet anymore. I'm standing up and becoming more and more boisterous from God's point of view, because I cannot believe that Christianity has become such an endangered species, or godliness, I should say, has become such an endangered species in Parliament that nobody wants to abide by God's principles anymore. Can you please, Reverend McAlpine, if you don't mind, give, just from your point of view as a pastor and a politician, what would you say right now must happen in this country and in Parliament in particular in order for the integrity of governance that God established to return? I have more to say, but I would rather hang up.
Yeah, leave it right there.
And listen. Yeah, I'm going to.
We have another call on the line.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let him respond to that.
Thank you. I think JT, your question is potent. And I think the answer for me boils down to this. We have not totally lost our way, but we have failed. We, in terms of leadership, have failed in this country. The people who should be setting an example have failed us miserably. And unfortunately, they're the people who have been set in high esteem by the populace, to the point that I would say sometimes, many times, people have forgotten God and have made these persons little gods. And who are they? The bishops, the preachers, the politicians. They're the main people who basically run this nation. And they're the people from which the conviction of this nation ought to come. And it is unfortunate that many of these persons have lost their way and have failed society for filthy lucre. Money has become their God. Making money has become their God. And therefore, when we read in scripture, the love of money, not money. Money is neither good nor bad. It depends on whose hand it in. Then it takes on a characteristic. But the reality is, we live in a society where we have seen preachers and politicians sell out their convictions, their principles, for what? Filthy lucre. Let's just look in the last sitting of the House. I'm a preacher politician. I'm one, and I tell you, my mantra, Michelle and Bahamas, is God and country. I don't make no bones about that. I have never been so disappointed. One of the things the former speaker said was, we have 7 ordained ministers in the House of Assembly, and a few deacons too. I have never been so disappointed when I saw how so-called Christians in the last regime, basically, as far as I'm concerned, put their Jesus on the side and refuse to do what is honorable. Because see, if you're a Christian, you just honor. You know, I often say when I'm preaching sometimes, like teaching, depending on which day you catch me. Someday I preach, someday I teach. But I've taught this a few times. Even before I became a Christian, and I was a Christian at a very early age, there are some things I still just wouldn't do. I had to be no Christian not to do it. I wasn't stealing. Not because I was a Christian, because I wasn't at the time. I just had conviction, principle. I grew up in an era where they said it takes a village to grow a child. I couldn't walk on the street and not hail the neighbor or see a family member did not speak or speak to somebody older than me, talk about yes who? We have a totally different character, and we have preachers and politicians who are the shapers and makers of basically society, who are basically telling us every day, do as I say, but not as I do. Hence, we have a failed nation.
Honestly, we have a couple more callers on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Well, good morning. Good afternoon, Michelle.
Hi. Hey, Graham.
And to Mr. McAlpine.
Hello, Graham. Good to hear your voice, Graham.
Well, likewise. You know,
thank you.
I think we still got about 2.5 teats still left in the Christian Council and the church. But they losing teats quick. You know, and I challenge them. To speak now or forever hold your peace, like at a wedding. And if they tell me they're doing a good job, I got plenty of issues to bring up with them. Homosexuality could be the first one. Why I don't hear them talking about the things? Because they're just collecting offering. So they're just another business. Now we still got 2.5 true believing pastors and churches. I wouldn't mention their names. But as it comes to governance in the Bahamas, Michelle and Mr. McAlpine, in what year did the Bahamas pay off its debt, balance the budget, and have no tax for its, I don't want to use the word organic citizens, but let me just say the indigenous citizens of the Bahamas? Because if you can't run a business or a soup kitchen, why are you trying to be in the house running my country? What have you run before? What are your credentials to be in some of these positions? And I tell you, there is no year that we've ever balanced the budget. And we continually go into billion-dollar debt, $2 billion debt, and now money goes missing. And there's no accountability. So I think, Michelle, I'm just guessing here, but I think we should have, you know, like Pandora, we should have different gold-plated and special types of ankle bracelets so you could show them off proudly. At least if we're going to allow that jewelry in the House of Assembly, for once, we won't be lying to ourselves. We'll be straight up with what's going on in there, apparently. You see what I'm saying? Before, we used to say none of that did happen in here. But if you're wearing an ankle bracelet, then, you know, it could be. Now, I can leave you with this one, Mr. McAlpine. If there's a by-election, I'd like to run independent in Long Island. And I'm not building just an airport. I want to build a city. You don't go to Miami to look at an airport and come home. You go because there's a city. So I want to build a city in Long Island. They've never had anybody with that vision. And Michelle, I'm going to come on the show and lay it out. So all the people in Long Island can decide if they want a city. Nice to hear your voice, Mr. McAlpine.
Thank you.
And you understand that you need somebody with vision in the country, or you're going to end up going in more debt. You all have a good one.
Thanks for calling, Graham.
And that there, I want to pick up where he ended. I thought where he ended.
Do we still have callers on the line? Okay. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay. Well, I won't be long if you have callers. I just want to say that.
No, I think we lost them both, but go ahead.
Okay. Where there is no vision, people perish. We seem to be perishing because of the lack of vision. And there seemed to have been more vision back in the day of the UBP and the Finland PLP than we seem to have today. All we looking for, why is it that we always looking for somebody to come pick us up? The next investor, the next big thing to come in. What about, what can we do for ourselves that can cause people to come to us? What is our value? What national entrepreneurship we have besides tourism? Why aren't we feeding ourselves? Why isn't a place like Long Island, the sheep capital of the Bahamas, with its butchery and selling mutton throughout the region? Every hotel in the Bahamas need rack of lamb. And why aren't we cutting the wool off for it to be material for clothing? And why isn't somebody with a boat to ship these things out? That's another set of business. We could be doing the same thing in Lucha with pineapple. We could be doing the same thing somewhere in Acklands with pigeon peas. I mean, we just seem to be going around the same circle, and nobody. One used to pride themselves as the F&M, as an F&M member, and say, well, we're not corrupt like those folks, and if those folks were corrupt, well, now we're in a situation. Who did this and when they did it and how long they did it and who's more corrupt and who? We tired of this, man. We tired of this.
It's like they don't seem to realize that when they come with the argument, well, we ain't as bad as y'all. You still saying you're bad.
But you're bad. That's the point.
They seem to be missing. So
and then we call ourselves honorable. What makes you honorable? Because what? You drive a Mercedes-Benz? Or you're a member of the cabinet, so now you're honorable? What about your principle? How do you treat your wife? How do you treat your fellow men?
Now, for the record, Graham said something earlier when he called about ankle bracelet. It is not my understanding that
yes,
is required to wear an ankle bracelet. I want to make that very clear.
That's right. We want to make that clear. We used it, though, as an example to say,
I get it.
Any future, because obviously, yes.
I just didn't want anybody to think that we were saying.
We're not accusing anybody of wearing ankle bracelets. But what we are saying is that that's a poor standard to be in the House of Assembly, to have charges levied against you, not just serious charges.
Well, we ain't talking about jaywalking. We're talking about a
ticket.
No, we talk about money laundering. And here's the thing. There were 101 charges brought before Mr. Gibson and 6 others. Yes. 56 of them were attributed to him. Now, as you all know, in case y'all were living under a rock and you don't know, he was brought before the courts on Tuesday. Because of the long list of charges, it took a very long time for them to get through them all. So by the time it was taken to the Supreme Court, because he wasn't required to enter a plea in the magistrate's court. By the time it was taken to the Supreme Court to apply for bail, bail was set for him at $150,000. He wasn't able to come up with the bail in time. His lawyers failed at the request to have him, give him until the following morning to pull it all together. So he spent the evening, Tuesday evening, at Her Majesty's pleasure. Now,
56. So I guess 28. If out of the 56, 28. At least 28 will stick, eh?
Well, I can't.
That's just an assumption. I'm just saying that's a lot of charges for an individual.
He shows up yesterday on the prison bus, delivers him to court so that he could pay his bail. And then he shows up to the House of Assembly yesterday afternoon. And this is what that looked like or sounded like for our radio audience.
Any comment on whether you were treated fairly while the night in remand? They treated you okay?
How you doing? You all right, Mom?
Yes.
Hey, what's been your experience like so far? You feel the process has been moving fairly? Mr. Gibson, can you speak to your experience on remand? Mr. Gibson, would you like to share any words about the process so far and how you've been treated?
Have you been treated fairly so far, sir? Police authorities been treating you fairly as yet? Any comment at all on
no comment at this time, Roshan.
Hey, understood.
Mr. Gibson, do you plan to resign? What are you planning to resign for?
No, we said no.
So he had no comment until our last question.
It's amazing.
And then all of a sudden he found his voice. No.
It's amazing. I sat in the House of the Free National Movement And because I disagreed and stood up for people and said, you was against that, and you raised that by 60%, from 7.5 to 12, this is not good for the poor people. Because I said, listen, you could give Dominica some money during the hurricane, but you're gonna need to make sure the people in Pine Ridge House were leaking, stop leaking, and you go deal with Ragged Island. No man can, the Bible says, how can you take care? He who cannot take care of his own house is worse than an infidel. You can't go take care of the people's house and you're the leader of your house and you can't fix your house and deal with your matter. Yet they wanted me to resign.
Wow.
On truth. They wanted me to resign. Ain't no charges against me. They wanted me to resign because I was convicted and I refused to bow down to the leadership and say, yes, massa. Yes, massa. Because I'm saying, hold on. We was against this and we talk against this in the campaign and you come in here and raising it by 60%? Because I said, listen, you can't do this or you have not treated the people right after Hurricane Dorian. I don't like how you handle the dead. I don't like how you've turned this pandemic into a dictatorship. They wanted me to resign because I did not agree with policies that were affecting the Bahamian people.
Wow. That crime was sufficient for you to resign.
That was sufficient for me to resign.
But yet, this is
but a fellow with 56 charges brought against him, and the party says you in good standing.
I can let the chairman speak right now on behalf of the party. This is what they have to say as it relates to this Adrian Gibson situation.
It's important to note that he is innocent until proven guilty. I'm sure there will be significant speculation, debate, discussion about what should happen, when it should happen, how it should happen, why it should happen. At this point, the Member of Parliament for Long Island, Adrian Gibson, who is entitled to due process and full protection under the law, was just apprised of the charges today. And so I think anything else is now speculative at this time. And we'll obviously be having some discussions moving forward as to how to assist. We are just getting the information. We had a number of people both at the court and in the court during the time, but some of those persons have not yet been debriefed. And so we are learning the totality of the charges being levied. Adrian Gibson is a significant member of the F&M caucus. He's a member in good standing. And as you know, no matter what charges are levied, persons are innocent until proven guilty. And we believe that he is entitled to due process and full protection under the law. We will stand by to ensure that he has a fair trial and that we acknowledge that this is about justice.
I just want to make sure I understand. You speak your mind and stand up on behalf of the people and the constituents and spoke your conviction, and they tell you, you got to go, step down.
That's
this
right.
person facing 56 charges, very serious charges, and they say, we stand behind him.
That's right. I spoke truth to power, and they wanted me to resign.
Hypocritical much? Because don't forget now, the narrative is we are the party of transparency and
accountability.
So what happened in this case?
Let me say this, Michelle. Let me say this. We are not gloating. I'm not gloating. No, this is a serious thing when it comes to the Member of Parliament for Long Island. Right. We don't wish this. I don't wish this on my worst enemy. This is sad. This is not good. And so please understand me, people. But I remember when the now present leader also was caught up in something. And didn't Mr. Michael Pintock resign as chairman and senator?
Yeah, he did.
Didn't the DPM step down as deputy prime minister based on the accusations that were over his head?
Well, I recall during the COVID pandemic, height of the pandemic, Dr. Sands himself was asked to step down over some situation with some plane landing and all this kind of thing, and you know.
And he was, and that's right. He was asked to step down. The point that I think we're all trying to make is, this don't sound good in Trinidad and Jamaica and Barbados, you know. When they hear that there's a member of parliament with 57 charges and he has not stepped down or has not resigned, and that the party behind him says that he's in good standing. We got to be the damn laughing stock, and he that believeth not shall be damned. Got to be the damn laughing stock of the region. We playing dollhouse.
My Lord.
This is a serious allegation. I heard someone say the other day, okay, he's innocent, still proving it. But understand, this ain't no more investigation. This is no more an assertion.
Yeah.
He has been charged. That means that the Crown has found sufficient evidence for him to be criminally liable. And so people understand. And again, we call this place honorable. Anybody who's honorable should be saying, now, in this case, the honorable thing, even if we lose the seat, that doesn't matter. Principle ought to take place. See, we are on a slippery slope and we keep going down the same slope. So nothing really matters. Principle is out the door. Integrity is out the door. Character is out the door. And then y'all want me to turn around and vote for y'all regardless of what y'all say and what y'all do, because stupid on our heads. Listen, they've been playing a game with us for a long time. They've been playing a game with us for a long time. It's time that Bahamian people say to both of these political parties, game over.
Wow. You know what? That's a really good point to take a break. That's a powerful, powerful thing right there that you just said. Will it ever happen? I ain't looking for it to happen no more in my lifetime, honestly. Because
I think so, Michelle.
I
do.
We can talk about that.
If you want me to elaborate after the break, I'll check.
Yeah, let's talk about it on the other side of the break.
I really think so. I do think you can see it in your lifetime.
All right, let's talk about it. We can take this first. Let's take this break first, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about that. We're talking about the House may be honorable, but what about the members? We'll be back after these sponsors segments, our commercials. Stay with us.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
And we are back. Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company, along with my guest, former Member of Parliament for Pine Ridge, Pastor Frederick McAlpine. We're talking the House may be honorable, but what about the members? The numbers to call, 3260271, 3260271, 3260271, or 3260272, 3260272. 3260272, and the WhatsApp line in case you want to send a message, 824-9952, 824-9952. We are airing live here in New Providence in Grand Bahama as well on Global 99.5 FM. We're also streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube on the official Global 99.5 Facebook page and the official Michelle Malcolm page, as well as on YouTube. So make sure, like and share the show if you are tuned in on Facebook. Like and share the show. Let everybody know that GPS is on the air, and we got quite a guest on today, the one and only Frederick McAlpine. So before we jump into that whole thing that we touched on prior to the break, I want to read a couple of the comments from Facebook. Let's see. Wall says Bahamians need to unite and stand up for change. Graham, with his funny self, say Rolex and ankle bracelet, bling. Graham, you are very funny. Zenobia says God is exposing these persons in the House of Assembly. They need to bring forth the rest of the persons who have done wrong from the past members of Parliament. Well, I tell you what, this is a season of exposure. And it's not just going to happen in the House of Assembly. And don't be surprised. Well, we've already been warned that there's more to come. The revelations this week about $500,000 spent on renovating a residence for one ambassador, plus another $500,000.
I mean, Michelle.
I was saving that for tomorrow, because tomorrow's our open line.
Listen, okay, I can let you handle that tomorrow, but I gotta say,
Sensi here. Go ahead. But
one chair. This is the vision I see.
Mm-hmm.
One chair, one table chair, head chair, one of those head chairs at the table, costs $6,000. That's where you eat, dine at.
But the former prime minister say things expensive over there, McAlpine.
Hold on. Watch this now. Listen to me closely, Bahamas. One chair costs $6,000, not $600, $6,000. And that's the two head chairs, and all the other chairs around that dining table cost $36,000. Listen to me carefully. This is my vision. The leader of the country sitting in a chair, the past leader of the country sitting in a chair for $6,000 during COVID time. Meanwhile, he giving you corned beef and Kraft macaroni and telling you Bahamians y'all must satisfy. Y'all got to be joking. Y'all got to be joking. Y'all ain't see that picture? Huh? You sit in a $6,000 chair and feeding me mackerel, tuna, and corned beef and macaroni, Kraft dinner, and telling me I must be satisfied and I mustn't be ungrateful.
And
That's
now
one
we're
camp.
trying to justify it, but we digress.
Yes.
For tomorrow's
Yes.
show. If you want to call in tomorrow, if I come back on tomorrow, I'll have you on. Because guess what? Tomorrow's gonna be hot.
I mean, $19,000 rug.
I gotta stay focused. We gotta stay
I
focused.
mean, serious, ladies and gentlemen, y'all don't see what's going on here. And we're talking about COVID. We're talking about people dying. You can't even go to your man pa funeral. Man, listen, man. Stevie Wonder said Stevie was the F was gonna lose that last one. But you know,
You
again,
get
let
arrested for going
me leave that
to
alone.
the pump to get water, but they
I mean,
focus.
uncompassionate. And then you have this uncompassion for people. And then these are people who want to lead and call themselves honorable. You put the coconut boy in jail or before the court for trying to make $1 rather than him being a thief or trying to break into somebody's house. Instead of encouraging him, you discourage him. And then on the top of all of this, you had this ability to be spiteful, petty, and arrogant.
But guess what? Not only that, so I could bring this back to what we're talking about. He decided to call himself the most honorable.
Which I refuse to call him. You see, at these titles is born to me. The most honorable, the most honorable. You only God. See, and that's the problem, Michelle. We have made these preachers and politicians. You know what bothers me? You in praise and worship, Prime Minister walks in, y'all stop the praise and worship. So you stop worshiping with God because the PM just walk in?
Because he's the most honorable, you ain't know?
Most honorable? Man, listen, these are the things, and then you got, see, these are the people that have got us, now let me say this, all the politicians aren't bad. All the preachers aren't bad. But a large portion of them are, unfortunately, more bad than good. It's unfortunate. But I'm trying to get y'all to understand that many politicians have caused this country to be in a place what the Bible calls in Judges 7:21, I think it is, 22. Politicians and preachers seem to be taking the Bahamas to a place called Bethshitta. That's what the Bible calls it, Bethshitta. And that's where they seem to be driving us as a country. We're really going to a real bad place, a horrible place. The stench is really bad in this place. And that is, and it's emanating from our actions, our behavior, and the lack of our conviction and principle. We are distracted. Our children don't even know who to follow. Parents have become poor examples. And parents are poor examples because politicians and preachers have been poor examples. We have no more conviction for church, community, or country. And this is why we're in the spot we're in. And yes, all aren't bad, all aren't bad. But the politicians and the preachers are going to have to take responsibility for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, for the action, for the crimes in our streets, for the abuse of our women and our children, and how we locked up so many men and put them in jail without a second chance for a spit. When you have people sitting around the cabinet table who's smoking spit. It's okay for your child got to go to jail, but theirs don't have to. They had Big Wet, remember? The place was on lockdown. Politician.
I remember.
Could get married and have people, or politician cronies could get married and have politician family participating at a big wedding. But you have to cancel your day, your big day. These are the things that have cost us, and it causes the country to go astray. And the blood on the grounds of these streets are going to be laid at the door of preachers and politicians of this country who continue to tell us do as we say and not as we do. Now, Michelle, let me bring this to you. The Bahamian people are tired.
I thought so too last September.
No, I'm saying they're really tired. And let me explain to you what is happening. They're really tired. And the PLP who got elected this last time into governance, in 2017, from 2017 to 2021,
Mm-hmm.
they were only able to garner an additional 7,000 more votes.
Mm-hmm.
7,000 more votes.
Mm-hmm.
Now understand, you had about 30 plus odd thousand that were eligible to vote, and that was added to the registry. But only 7,000 more votes they picked up from what they got the last time. Now listen to me carefully. There is a group of people in the Bahamas, don't care what it is, there's 16,000 people in the Bahamas who never vote PLP nor after them. From the days of Granville, they don't vote for the PLP nor after them. 16,000. That's how come COI and Independent all them get that vote. But this time, for the first time in the history, 68,000 people did not go to the poll. And Michelle, those 68,000 weren't people who were susceptible to COVID. The people who were susceptible to COVID went and voted.
They were susceptible to the politicians who were running.
So what they were saying to you in a nutshell, I ain't want none of y'all.
Yeah.
Ain't none of y'all worth me get 68,000. Now watch this, Michelle. 68,000 who didn't vote. 16,000 who didn't vote for the PLP nor the FNM. 16,068. It's 84,000.
Mm.
And you can tell me, you want me to tell you, these people want something. They haven't found it. And I'm telling you, Michelle Malcolm and Commonwealth of the Bahamas, if we can find the right leader, not nobody who ain't never been in the upper house or the lower house, if you find the right person and get the right team, the two will be gone next general election. That speaks to that.
You really, really believe that?
If you find the right leader and the right team, and the team got to be some nationalists who are PLPs, who are FNMs, who are some DNAs, who are one or two good independent people, and you bring them together, the two gone. Because the way I see it now with the present FNM, on this trajectory that they're on, I might as well tell you, things ain't looking good.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Let me tell you what else scares me. Listen, what else scares me. Sorry, Michelle, I gotta drop this in.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to see your face as I tell you this.
Okay.
Listen to this. As bad and as incompetent as we said Dr. Minnis was and is in leadership, the FNM presently with a new leader, people seem to want to hear what's coming out of the mouth of the former leader, even if they say he talking whatever he talking, even if he talking crap. They rather hear what's coming out of his mouth. Don't you see the news?
Yeah.
The former prime minister could be on 3 times and the leader of the opposition could hardly get on once. What does that say? Something ain't resonating. Something ain't percolating.
Mm.
And people say, turn up when they see the former leader, turn it up. Let me see what crap he talking now.
You know what? I guess we're sort of digressing from the real topic of the show. But one of the things that I couldn't understand as we watched the competent authority maneuver, and quite frankly, much of the decisions that were made had nothing to do with science and everything to do with him trying to hold on to power. I said it.
Yes, but you're right.
I don't care. That's my opinion. I said it, right? But what I couldn't understand is that you've got all of these people who far outnumber him sitting around that table in the cabinet.
And said nothing.
Did nothing.
Acquiesced to his behavior. Why?
Listen.
And this is why I'm disappointed in the so-called Christians who were there. Because they worshipped him. They chose Bahamian people. They didn't choose you. They chose money over principle. They chose power over integrity. They chose love for their political leadership rather than love for their country. And y'all want to wonder why we are in the mess we're in? We elect people to the House. Listen, we have elected people to the House, not on speculation, on facts. You know the man was a white beater. You still voted for him. You know he was no good. You still voted for him. And you're wondering why we're on the quagmire that we're in. I mean, we're talking about a nation here. We're going to hell in a handbasket. And unless everybody else is playing blind, since the PLP came in, what's their problem? Crime has escalated. I hear more about drugs and more murders. It's like, I have this for you. My people in now, so I can do what I can do. It's like just crime just totally escalated. It's a free-for-all. I don't care how y'all fix it, how y'all twist it. That's reality. Since the PLP came in, crime is up, drugs is up. We tired when it comes to all y'all. One crew talking about the bread basket items. The PLP need to remove that from the bread. Man, I don't want to hear that bet shit up. Who want to hear that? I don't want to hear that. Because at the end of the day, when you was there, that was at 7.5, and when you left, it was 12%. These people come in now and take it to 10%, and you want me round them? I ain't round with no bread basket. Take the VAT off the insurance, take it off of school, education, take it off of books. That's what I want you to do. Take it off insurance, if you haven't done so already. That's what.
I think a part of the problem is either they have such little regard for us that they really think we stupid.
No, that's it right there, Michelle. They really think we're stupid. We're dealing with politicians who tell you the sky is green. And you, even though you know it's not green, to impress the politician, you're going along and saying, yes, it's green. But what you do not know, before you came and got in the circle for him to tell you the sky is green, he told all his buddies, now watch, she coming. I can tell her the sky is green, and watch what this astronomical anatomy can do. She can say, yeah, let me show you how I got her. And they got us for joke. This is a game to them. Meanwhile, we're not working. Our people are suffering. Gas is now at $7 a gallon. You can't even take a ride to clear your head.
Listen here, talking about gas. My gas tank was on the last quarter, right?
Mm-hmm.
I go on to the gas station. I say, give me
$20?
No, I try to fill it up. I said, give me $80 worth. Well, it went to 76 when it stopped. So that tells me that if my tank is empty, and I don't drive a big vehicle,
you're gonna need at least $100.
I'm gonna need $100 just to fill that up.
That's right. These are hard times.
Listen, no. Hard times for some.
That's true.
Not for all.
The majority. Hard times for the majority. You're right.
Majority.
You're right. Because you're right. You absolutely. And see, they don't feel it. Because they don't feel it. They're not going to feel it. They eat it, man. Listen, what is it, Michelle? You know, as everybody go to Parliament, it's like they get 20 pounds bigger. Just eating, living the good life.
What Roddy Monk said, he got 2 meat when he got. Roddy Monk said when he got the Senate, he get 2 meat.
and some of us can hardly afford corned beef.
My God.
See, what I'm saying is, Bahamas, hear me today. Frederick McAlpine from Grand Bahamas telling you here on GPS, we can do better. We deserve better. Too many of our children are going to school and not coming back because of this same bull crap. They're not coming back because our civil servants, a public service, is bloated. This is the only place where they retire you and turn around and give you another job as a consultant or ambassador. This is the only place where you are charged or moved with misappropriation of funds, and then they turn around and take you and put you in another ministry so you can misappropriate some more. We're tired of this. We're tired of calling government agencies and the phone ringing and nobody answering. I don't want to talk to no machine. They're about to turn my light off. I don't want to talk to no machine. And then when you get somebody on the line, they forget you're paying their salary. They speak to you in such an inappropriate way. And they could do it because what you could do, ISPLP, what you could do, I'm F&M. They ain't Bahamians. They are political parties.
Let me ask you this. Because you talked about bloating, and some people have described the current cabinet as a Gussie May cabinet. When it comes to all of these revelations that are now coming about of all of the alleged misappropriation of funds and bribery and money laundering and all that other kind of stuff that's coming out, not just with water and sewage, but I understand there's more to come. Could a part of our problem be that we are supposed to have an active public accounts committee in the House of Assembly to make sure that there is an accounting, but because that is not active, and now that you have just about everybody who has won a seat has some kind of position in cabinet, except for a handful of a few, what role does that play in the fact that so much alleged wrongdoing was able to go on without it being properly vetted and discovered before the next election?
It plays a major role, but unfortunately, everything in the Bahamas is about politics. So even though the Public Accounts Committee is still led by the opposition, at the end of the day, it still has to function under the purview of the Speaker, who's placed there by the government, who also have members on the Public Accounts Committee, who's also from the government. So we continue to have this runaround because, again, political interference is what it's all about, and has been what it's all about. We need more independency and the person who, more autonomy given to our speakers, and the speakers really need to be in charge of the House, but they really aren't as much as they want you to believe they are. We're paid from the same consolidated funds as everybody else. I have another view as well too. I think we have a lot of mediocre people in the House of Assembly from these last two settings. I think I thought the performance by the last regime is mediocre at best. And I'm still watching, but I still already detect that we have some mediocre folks as well in this present government. And I'll go further to say that I believe that we talked about vetting people before them entering the House, but I also think that we need leaders with more integrity and with more passion and concern for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And we need more people with genuine vision. And one of the things I also want to say, I really believe we need to increase the salary of persons in Parliament. I don't want my MP saying he's my MP, having to deal with 5,000 plus people, and he up and down talking about he doing something else, and I can't find him because he's on another man's job. No, I think we need to now make this serious, okay? We need to up the salary, and we need to make them more accountable. And we need to pay what we honestly think an MP should be worth. And then we need a Freedom of Information Act. We need something in place that we can make an example of these parliamentarians when they don't right. And if they're accused, sure, you're innocent till proven guilty. But when the accusations are serious, I think you need to go fight for your name and then come back. And if you're innocent, then the party owes you. They should replace you. If you lost a safe seat, they should put you back in another safe seat to run next time. But that's how you ought to be thinking. But We need integrity. We need a Bahamas free of victimization. And we need a Bahamas where we're truly free to think. The F&M lost that. They're no more free thinkers and free thinking firefighters. No. This is everybody. I'm going to bring up something here, Michelle. There is a group of people in this country who believe the Bahamas belong to them, family-wise, and the rest of us are just peasants.
We just their workers. We are their laborers. Yeah, that's all we're here for.
They believe that the country belongs to them. I remember, I just want to open your eyes, Bahamians. I remember former Prime Minister Lyndon Pinley, a man I respect. He wasn't no God. He wasn't perfect. But I respect what he has done for this nation. I remember the same F&M, how they made us think when he wanted to run his daughter in one of the seats.
I remember that.
Today, them same people who I know had the biggest mouth about that, got their children, their in-laws, and now some of them trying to get their grandchildren to run. These people really believe. And if you look at some of the people who make noise, their children done been in the Senate, they done held active positions, some of them done been in Parliament. They made that man so restless. They castigated Lyndon Pinley.
Oh yeah, he trying to be Papa
They
Dog.
talk about son Lyndon been there for 25 years.
I remember.
I see no difference in none of the other political leaders, because even though some of them out, they still want control. Man, you better stop late.
No, you
they don't spend just as much time as Lyndon Pinley in the House. And those who still out and want to take control. And these are people with certain names on both political divide. And they playing a game. They acting like they mad with each other. They intermarry. They calling each other God sister, God brother, godmother, godfather.
In business together.
They in business together. They interacting together. And me and you's the only fools out here fighting on their behalf. And they ain't fighting on our behalf.
My God.
And I'm trying to tell y'all, wake up and smell the coffee, Bahamas. There's a game for them. There's a game. You ain't realize that in one family, half is F&M, the other half is PLP, intermarried. I ain't talking about cousins. I'm talking about in-law.
My Lord.
So there are certain people in this country who are politically connected that think they have an indelible right to be in Parliament every time the doors are open. But I pray long enough to see God clean house and give us a real house with people who love their country. We got to find a way. No, we can't pay the students who've gone away to school the money they're earning in America, but at least 75% of what they're making now. Plenty people won't come home. They got degrees. How many successful Bahamians? The Bahamian diaspora is strong globally. How many of them are working as professional surgeons and major doctors and lawyers and managers and doing great things?
Yep.
What if we had them home doing it and paying them? We'd be a better Bahamas. But no, everything got to be about politics and who's your man, who's your pa, and who you connected to. It's a tragedy. Your child did well and deserves a scholarship. Your child is a 3.0 and above. But your child can't get the scholarship because they ain't politically connected. But the politically connected child can't even make 3.0. But they get the scholarship. It's wrong. And unless you get people who are fair, people who are going to look beyond party and begin to see a better Bahamas. Stop. We have selfish people, man, in the country. You could tell me, your pa 80-something, he's a construction person. He is 80. He has children and grandchildren. who in the construction field, he refused to step out and give that contract to his grandchildren or to his son because he won't be greedy. You got parents competing. Come on, man. Where your child? So your child, who's in their 40s, can't make it because their pa still is a selfish son of a biscuit. He don't want nothing for his children. He don't see the importance of his child making it.
This is the Bahamas in which we live. You ain't never lie. You ain't story, like we say, you ain't story, and you telling the truth.
So we're beginning to be rotten to the core. We have no sense of principle.
But I tell you the truth, if they ain't see it yet, this is the season of exposure.
Yeah.
It's only just begun. And they ain't gonna be able to put it at the feet of any particular party or any particular. God is about to expose.
Yeah. And can I add on to this too?
Real quick.
Respectfully using your title, he's about to create a paradigm shift.
Amen.
There's a paradigm shift coming. I'm telling you, people, listen to me. Michelle, Bahamas, there's a silent remnant out there that's tired, you know. You hear what I tell y'all? 16,000 people automatically don't vote for the PLP nor the FNF. The votes that were increased were only increased by 7,000 to the PLP in the last general election. And 68,000 refused to go to the poll because they weren't inspired to vote for neither. That's 84,000 people who refused to vote for the PLP or the FNF.
Many of which are the young people of this nation, because
that's who they are. They don't know. They don't know this crew. Forget Finland. They don't even know Hubert Ingram.
Yeah.
That's the crew who don't even know who is he.
We have,
and we're not impressed by Hubert Minnis nor Ray Davis. Let me share something else with you.
Wait. Hold, stick a pin in that. We got to take this last break. So don't forget what the thought is. We're gonna pick up where you left off after the break, but we gotta get our sponsors in. So let's take this final break, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna continue the conversation with Pastor Frederick McAlpine, former member of Parliament for Pine Ridge. We're talking today. The House may be honorable, but good God, what about them members?
Sure.
We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Weston, Lux, fuel, track life, tough, rough racing, velocity, mud, all-terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun. Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm along with Frederick McAlpine. We're talking today. The House may be honorable, but what about the members? Now, I know, Pastor McAlpine, I said we we're going to come straight to you, but we have a caller on the line. So let's do the call first, and then we'll come back to you. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hi, how you doing?
Great, how are you?
I'm fine. Hi, Michelle. Good day, Pastor McAlpine.
Good day, sir.
Yeah, I just want to give a perspective, and I don't know if a question can come out of it with respect to what's actually on the ground in Long Island. Okay? I live in Long Island. I've moved here 5.5 years, and I want to give a perspective. My name is Godson Johnson, a.k.a. Nicodemus. I'm acquainted with you both.
Hey, Nicodemus.
Right. I have a perspective with respect to the situation with Mr. Gibson, and I'm being most respectful, I think. When Mr. Gibson initiated his political life, there were certain parties, personalities that vouched for him, and they almost pushed him into this stream of affairs. And my outlook on that is this: you almost coach or force or coerce this young man. I feel, personally, I feel sorry for Mr. Gibson, because I feel as though he was thrust into a stream of affairs that was beyond his scope of management. Okay? That's how I feel. And there were persons who pushed him, egged him on into this stream just so that they can have the strings to manipulate and exploit him down the line. One of them has passed, Tennyson Wells. And now Mr. Gibson was left to swim on his own. All right? That's a perspective. Not just Wells, a number of other persons egged them on. They got their ambassadorship. They got their positions as a consequence. And like Arrington Bumpy Isaac said before he passed, if you run anything in Long Island with a red shade, anything, a goat, if you put a red shade on a goat, the people of Long Island would vote that goat into Parliament. Now, I don't adhere to that sarcasm, but obviously it has some truth, which brings me now to my second perspective. The voters of Long Island, and I want to let you know something as a person who's living on the ground. Long Island is a distinguished island from the rest of the Bahamas. It has 5 distinctive cultures on one island. You can separate it into 5 different cultures, and they all do things different. They all go about life different. I said that to say this. The political culture, for the most part in Long Island, is that they just resent the PLP as a party. This has something to do with probably things that happened before I was born, notwithstanding that the PLP founder was from, or the 2 principal founders of the PLP came from Long Island. But they still have this same resentment. I don't know. I wouldn't say that I don't know. I think it has somewhat to do with the color proportion of people that supports the PLP. But the point is this, that I really want to deal with that perspective. Long Island has got to put the past behind it, whether it's PLP, FNM, or some other independent personality that they decide to put into parliament. They've got to see that they, as an island and a community, like Pastor McAlpine said, can be more, deserve more, can do more, and stop using this resentment towards the PLP as an axis. Now, that's second perspective. Third and last perspective, what y'all may or may not know that is happening now, today, on the ground in Long Island. The blatant behavior of Master Gibson in his accumulated wealth on this island is so much in such a short term that the people of the island are so intimidated by it, they say, well, if he could do that, I better keep my mouth shut. Because that is the feeling. Like, they feel so what's called powerless. Because the people in politics can do that. While they go on their boat fishing, they go in the bush and catch crab, they do their little masonry and carpentry. The people who are in politics are powerful. I best not have nothing to say or look that way. And that is what's happening on the ground. If you see the house that Mr. Gibson owns right now on the beach, if you see the buildings that he owns right now in the 4 years, if you see the cars that his rental company has amassed, in the 4 years, he has taken away contracts from other rental car companies that once rented the hotel, Cape Santa Maria. The other rental car companies cannot even go now to Cape Santa Maria to rent their cars because Gibson cars are there. He pushed them out. But what I'm saying in that last perspective is this. What is happening on the ground is, I don't think y'all are cognizant of the level of intimidation that is on the ground. So yeah, okay. We may have a by-election, but still the voters are scared. They are scared because if the PLP get in, then they have to worry about F&M behaviors toward them. If the F&M get in, now they really have to worry about the PLP because now we have this road that's dig up. We had 2 accidents in the last 2 nights turning over on this road. Everybody's scared because we don't know who can fix our road. We don't know what to vote. How do we go up against this? We feel power. I'm telling you what's happening on the ground, my beloved brother and sister. I don't say I feel powerless. My strength cometh from the Lord. But I could feel my brothers. I could hear my brothers and sisters in this community. They feel powerless.
Wow. Thank you for calling in with that perspective, Nicodemus. Let me let my guests respond, okay? Thanks for calling, eh?
Well, he's right. He talks about it. That's all around. The whole Bahamas is intimidated when it comes to these politicians. People, you're right. They feel, see, That's sad when you have to depend on politicians to eat. And that's why they keep voting for them, don't care who they are. Don't care what they did and what they've done. And so we have to develop a society free of political victimization and free of political intimidation. I mean, all these islands. I mean, Michelle, you there in Nassau, but it's more than Nassau, it's not the Bahamas, you know. We need to develop these family islands. People should be willing to go back to the island from which they've migrated to spend their days of retirement. He's right, you know, people are intimidated, but this is what people say. You come into parliament, ain't got 2 dimes to rub together. When you leave, you're a multimillionaire. How do you do it? Because your salary doesn't dictate that to happen. So what are you doing? What deals are you cutting? Who do you know? And again, I beg to say, these are little fishes in a big pond. What about these ministers? We go way back from the days of the UBP.
Wow.
A lot of people got our things. A lot of people have our things. You know, I went to tell you before the break. I was talking to you about the numbers, etc., in the House of Assembly. And this is the things I've been saying today. This is why the House is not honorable. Because we lack principle and integrity and character, and we're not growing up our children right. And we're not, we would rather buy a $200 sneaker and then complain about a $150 MacBook, which can make your child a better person. You find sneakers more important than getting academics in one's head. But you know what I wanted to tell you? This country, from Pop Simonet to the Honorable Philip Brave Davis, has been run by baby boomers. And even the leader of today's opposition is a baby boomer. Nobody from 1965 has run this country, but all of them been in politics. So nobody, which would be Generation X, has had an opportunity to run this country.
Or millennials.
No X, no Y, and no Z. What am I telling you? Baby boomers still running things. And we don't have 3 generations now. X, Y, and Z. And none of them have had a chance yet to run this country.
But here's the thing. In life, and especially in politics, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. So if the young people, for instance, had the power in the last election, and they decide to stay home and not come out and make their voices heard and felt, who they got to blame for where we are if they're not happy with the direction we're going in?
That's true. But we keep swinging. The reason we keep swinging from party to party is because there is a dissatisfaction. Now let me speak to these third parties. You got people who want to lead and never been even in the House. Not the House. The Senate. Have no parliamentary experience. You have people who want to lead, and then they go and pick up a bunch of other people, no name, we don't know them. And so when I look at your crew and I look at your group, I can say, well, who can be the Prime Minister again? Who could be the deputy? Who could be the Minister of National Security? Who's going to run the finance? When you're serious about this, you got to bring people to the table who people can look at and say, now this makes sense. It's going somewhere. But you bring a bunch of no names, unintelligent, unqualified, and then you tell me to vote? So it's not that, I don't think we're as naive as they say. We keep going back and forth to them people because at least you have a sense of semblance. Of some people you can see something. Some of them people and they say, okay, that makes sense, that makes sense. But when you look at these third forces, you be like, but that don't make no sense. Why you gotta find people will then see, the reason why Granville McCartney did so well was because at least he was in the House. If he said tomorrow, well, at least you say, well, you was in the House. You dealing with people who ain't never even been in the Senate.
Mm.
And you want me to take that kind of chance? And then you bring with you a whole bunch of people. You could hardly talk. You hardly making sense. And the people around you making half the sense you make it. And you want me to vote for that? Now you think about the many different parties and you ask yourself, were these people worth me really voting for? Could I take a chance of these people leading? You know what was the DNA's failure? The DNA's failure was the first time they ran, which was in 2012, and they got all those votes, was good. Let me tell you what their failure was. After that, we ain't hear about them no more until 1 year or 6 months before the next election. How you want me to vote for that? You get caught up in your feelings, and it was your feelings as opposed to your conviction. If it's your conviction, don't care win, lose, or draw, you still can fight. You disappear.
I want to read a comment from one of our Facebook viewers. It says, Mark, please don't do it. We have many in the House of Assembly who didn't lead and didn't stand, so it's time to turn the table because the people should have all the experience and qualifications ain't making many more sense. We tired. Do not touch the outside political parties. How do you respond to that?
I'm not touching the outside political parties. I'm actually trying to help the outside political parties. I agree. I concur with you. Those who there haven't done much more, and we speak to their atrocities and we speak to their imperfections, but not reality. Don't care how much they say in the house, in the church. I's a Christian, and the fella testified, but I was locked up from prison. And the minute he say he just come out of Fox Hill for thieving, every sister in the church, they speak in tongues, but they grabbing the bag. So such is the case. When you come at a third party and you tell me you want to leave, although we hear you, we looking for people around you that make sense to say, okay, I voted for you because you're a woman, and I voted for you because you had a particular issue, you were favorable on a particular issue. I voted because I think you're capable. And it must first start with leadership. And if it's leadership, then you wouldn't be intimidated by somebody who's smarter than you to bring them into your body. Because at the end of the day, that person can make you look good.
That's a good
You come into church, you can preach, tell the people, swing it off the chandeliers at Freeport Fellowship Center. When you done finished and they done finished on the chandeliers and dancing and skipping about, they can say, now the service is back into the hands of the senior pastor, Frederick McAlpine. Are you happy? So my point to you, we have, you know what the problem is? Not third parties. We have too much insecure leaders. You don't have to be that smart, you know. You can be the most charismatic, but have a bunch of smart people around you.
In all fairness, that doesn't only apply to the third party, you know.
No, but I'm telling you, that doesn't apply to the third party. The fact of the matter is that I spoke to the insignificant and how we worship these leaders and how insecure they are politically. That's been proven. That I didn't think I have to speak to that. That is exactly. I'm not speaking to the third party who say this is why you're not being elected. Nobody taking you serious because you didn't do anything politically of major political significance that warrant the attention of the masses. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You see, if I'm building a party tomorrow, I can go get, you know how many disenfranchised, intellectual, smart, nationalists, believe in people, compassionate FNMs and PLPs and DNAs and COIs who are out there. But you can't be intimidated.
That's the ticket right there. That's it.
Go find people who really love this country, who frustrated. You know how many FNMs frustrated with the FNM? Do you know how many FNMs who left the FNM, and even though there's been a leadership change, they have not gone back to the FNM? Do you know how many PLPs, notwithstanding the PLP one, do not like this PLP or its leadership? Do you know how many people are anti-PLP and FNM and just still can't get with none of the third forces? Now, y'all can say what y'all like about Frederick McAlpine, but I tell them, like when I was in the house, I sleep with myself before I sleep with my beautiful wife, and oh, how I love her. So I'm going to tell y'all the truth. So what am I saying? Some of y'all need to have a conscience. Start with yourself. Be honest to yourself. Be true. Who gonna run a bunch of novice? Why am I going to come up with a bunch of novice? They ain't hurt nothing. It doesn't have to be. But if you're going to have an attorney general, at least they should be a lawyer, eh?
It would help.
If you're going to be the minister of finance, it wouldn't hurt. Even if you're the prime minister and don't have that degree, at least you can make somebody under you who at least have some degree in economics, eh? Or understand economics, eh? Or financial matters, right? And we ain't talking about $500 here. We're talking about billions of dollars. When you're talking about governance, we ain't running no damn tuck shop. This ain't no Mickey Mouse Club. This is what governs the country.
Yes. We are running out of time. I want to ask you this final question and then I'll let you wrap up. I guess in essence, what we've been saying for the last almost 2 hours is that in order for the honor of the honorable house to truly exist, we need to start looking for people, individuals who have honor within themselves. And when we go to the polls, stop voting color and start voting character. What do you think?
Yes, you said it. You said it. You literally said it. So let me put some Bible to it. Proverbs, I think 29:1. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. If we kingdom people out here keep talking about we the head and not the tail, the head of what? We're not prime ministers. We're not commissioners of police. We're not commandants. We're not controllers of customs. We're not holding the ministerial post. And I spoke this to my good friend, the late Dr. Miles Monroe, when I told him I was going in politics. He said, why? I said, because we've been preaching and teaching a lie for years around here. Talking about we the head and not the tail. The head of what? We aren't the governor generals. We aren't the people who make decisions. So how is the kingdom being advanced if we sit home only going to church every Sunday with Bible in our hand? And you think doctors is going to just let you walk in? The kingdom of God suffered violent and the violent take it by force. My final words to you, Bahamas, is that let us elect people, as Michelle said, with character and integrity. Let's start voting character and not party and not color. And let's start looking for people who want a better Bahamas, if not for you, for your children and your children's children. Thank you so much, Michelle, for having me today. And I also want to send a shout out to Miss White and tell I said hello. And also, I conclude by simply saying, God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Well, I knew you were going to be a good guest, but I didn't know you was going to be this good.
Thank you. Thank you so much
for agreeing to be a part of the show today. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. Anytime.
All right. And I'm going to hold you to that. All right, we got to get out of here. Time is gone. Thank you so much to our guest, former member of Pine Ridge, Pastor Frederick McAlpine, for being here today. I got to get out of here because it's almost 4 o'clock and we have more great programming for you here on Global 99.5 FM. As always, thank you so much for being a part of the show today. I really do appreciate you. Do not miss tomorrow's show because I going all in. It's an open line show tomorrow. And guess what? Okay. I can see you all tomorrow. Have a good one.
Oh, okay, just press
99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this radio station.